And here we go with another luxury fragrance haul. Hi everyone, I'm Julien and welcome back to my channel, Scented Moments, where we discuss everything about perfumes. So in this video, I want to share with you the 12 recent additions to my collection. 12 niche fragrances here that I'm really happy to add them. Some of them I had them on my wish list forever. Others, there are a few here that were amazing discoveries of this year. And there are also a couple that I already talked about on previous videos. But well, without further ado, let's get started. So the first fragrance here is from the house of Stephane and we have two fragrances from this brand. I really am a big fan of Stephane fragrances, not all of them for sure, but I have still quite a few on my collection from this brand. And this one was not love at first sniff, and this is one of the fragrances that I already talked about previously. The video was ranking the most popular fragrances. Definitely check that video out if you have yet to. And this one is God of Fire from the Serpent collection. I really like this bottle style. I love the color, this turquoise blue color. Very summery, very like happy type of color. And in the end, this fragrance really is that. It's a very playful, fruity, sweet type of scent. This was not love at first sniff. I was not a fan when I smelled this back in 2022 when this was released. And I tested this fragrance a few times on paper, not on skin. I should have known better back then. But on paper, it wasn't great. It was too harsh, too piercing, and dare I say, a bit too synthetic. This, in the end, is a very fruity mango, creamy, musky fragrance, but with a lot of smoke and woodsy undertones. This has Nagarmotha, it has incense, and it has oud with some sort of an ambroxan quality in here as well. It's a very complex fragrance in the end, not an obvious like sweet, fruity, summery fragrance. No, it has a lot of character and has a dark backbone, but it as a first impression is a bit weird, especially on paper. On my skin, this is a juicy, super amazing like mango, very addicting, a bit effervescent. It has also a bit of a ginger quality in here with this musky creaminess, like vanillic creaminess, and it definitely has this a bit of an ambroxan, marine-ish, aquatic, very slightly aquatic nuance, and it has a bit of this dark woodsy facets as well. In the end, it's a very complex fragrance, but it's mostly like a unique summer fragrance, fruity summer fragrance. Although you can wear this really pretty much all year round, the performance is fantastic. For me, this is a very sexy fragrance, especially again for the summer, but this could easily be signature scent, to be honest. Great scent right here, God of Fire by Stephane. Also from Stephane, and this is one that I had for a very long time on my wish list. This one is Wish Come True. This one right here, Eau de Parfum concentration. I mean, all Stephane are Eau de Parfum. And this is a sleeve. And this is pretty much standard Stephane presentation. You have always the sleeve, and then you have this really nice box. You open like so, and here you have the bottle. Here. Very nice presentation, simple but very efficient and on point, I would say. On to the scent itself. I mean, the bottle actually is quite gorgeous. But again, I do like overall the bottles of this brand. 50 ml, just comes in 50 ml. Although he has now a few like Solaire de Jedi and a few others that come in 100 ml as well. But so Wish Come True right here, beautiful, beautiful bottle. This is a stunning incense floral vanilla fragrance. Pure and simple, with a bit of oud in here as well. Stephane really likes the oud note, which I also adore, and the majority of his fragrances have this oriental touch into them. Some more than others, but most of them have, and there's certainly such a DNA across the entire brand. So Wish Come True is this spicy, peppery, very creamy vanilla with incense, with tuberose, jasmine, which are actually quite prominent. So you really need to appreciate like white floral, especially these two. More so the jasmine than tuberose, I would say, but these two floral notes are quite prominent here with that oud facet. It's amazing. Very dreamy fragrance, I would say. Very cozy perfume with character again, but still quite cozy. If you are into vanilla fragrances, I really advise to check this one out. It's really a bit stretched, but just for you to have an idea, but imagine Baby Cat by Yves Saint Laurent, but more complex with the tuberose, with the jasmine, with the oud. So it's like Baby Cat, more complex, I would say, more niche. So this is Wish Come True, and Wish Come True came out way before Baby Cat. This was released in 2017, 2018, if I'm not mistaken. So, I mean, it already has its years, but still smells fantastic. Great for fall and winter. Wish Come True by Stephane and Humbert. Now, the next fragrance from the house of Les Indemodables, another brand that I absolutely love. I mean, I adore their fragrances, high quality perfumes. They are not groundbreaking, but it's the quality of the materials is something to highlight always. And the blend, really everything about the brand is fantastic. And I really advise you to purchase their sample set because it's really an experience. Now this one was released this year and I also talked about it, was featured on my fall list, and this one is Immortelle Solaire. This is the box where the fragrance comes. It's a very simple cardboard box it's the standard presentation of Les Indemodables fragrances, aside of course their limited editions of Vanilla Van. But this one I already took out from the box, and so this is Immortelle Solaire. This is the bottle itself. I mean, the name pretty much says everything. This is a Immortelle based fragrance, and I love Immortelle. Now, it was not a note that I instantly love. I think it's a note of an acquired taste. You just appreciate it with time. For example, I had many years ago a fragrance that it's very well regarded from the house of Histoire de Parfum called the 1740 Marquis de Sade. And I had a 100 ml bottle of it, and it had such a strong Immortelle with leather. But for me, the Immortelle back then, it was too much to handle. So I ended up giving away to my dad, actually. He adored that fragrance. So I ended up giving to my dad. And currently, I'm like, oh, actually, no, I miss that fragrance. I would not mind to have it again. So this is to say, there are certain notes that while you will not appreciate at first, doesn't mean that you will not appreciate later. I mean, this is a constant evolution. Everything changes. The more you try, the more your taste evolves. And so it happens with the note of Immortelle for me. And now I'm a big fan of Immortelle. This is one of my favorite Immortelle notes used in a perfume. This is a very crunchy, caramelized, natural smelling Immortelle, the way that I love. And this one also, oh, it's so good. It has gourmand qualities. It has this creamy hazelnut facet with a strong patchouli. It's beautiful. Beautiful scent. I really advise it for you to check this one out. This for me screams fall, also winter, but especially fall. For me, Immortelle, this crunchy caramelized quality of Immortelle screams fall. And especially when you add like a bit of a gourmand, very mild gourmand quality with this creamy hazelnut, and then of course the patchouli, just beautiful scent right here. One of the best releases of 2025 so far. It's Immortelle Solaire by Les Indemodables. Now the next fragrance is the very first fragrance from this brand that I added. It's from the house of Nobile 1942. It's a fragrance, a brand that it's very underrated in the fragrance community, I would say. Overall online, it's not that talked about, but it's very affordable. I mean, their fragrances, the sizes are 75 ml for 130 euros. I mean, it's quite okay, I would say, especially for the quality. Now, I always was familiarized with the brand because this is being sold at Embassy and already for a few years now. So I always had a few under the radar from this brand. This is one of them, and this is Patchouli Nobile. I'm a fan, a big fan of patchouli. And yeah, this is a fantastic patchouli. I mean, usually Italian brands do know how to make a proper patchouli. I mean, my reference of patchouli is from Profumo Broma Patchouli. And so this is the presentation itself. Very nice, simple but beautiful. Love the bottle. Again, this is a 75 ml. Eau de Parfum Patchouli Nobile is a patchouli in the same vein of Profumo Broma's patchouli. So it has this very earthy, chocolatey, cakey patchouli, but very well done. I mean, so this is the bottle itself. Very gorgeous bottle, I would say. Very heavy also. So Patchouli Nobile, it's a resinous, it has a resinous quality, a bit smoky, but the patchouli itself is that more typical chocolatey, cakey, beefy, quite rich and dense patchouli. I adore it. Very well done here, and it was love at first sniff for me. And I definitely want to add a couple more from this brand, Nobile. I love their sandalwood fragrance called Sandalo. And they also have their most popular fragrance is La Danza della Libellula, which is a more fruity, apple, creamy, vanilla, like mildly gourmand scent. It's definitely, I think, their best seller and their most well-known perfume. But they have a couple of Ponte Vecchio, which is, if I'm not mistaken, a very nice incense fragrance. So I definitely want to revisit that one because that one was under the radar for a while now. So yes, there are a couple that I definitely want to add to my collection from Nobile. Yeah, but I'm really happy with Patchouli Nobile. If you are into patchouli fragrances, I highly advise for you to try this one. It's really one of the best patchoulis out there. And for a quite affordable, dare I say, especially retail-wise, 130 euros. I mean, for 75 ml, it's really not that bad for the quality of this perfume. And the presentation itself, I mean, it's also quite nice. So Patchouli Nobile by Nobile 1942. Now the next fragrance is from a brand that I decided to revisit, go back to. It's from the house of Puredistance. Now, if you're following me for a while, you know that my reference of leather my all-time favorite leather is from Puredistance, and it's Puredistance M. And I have a 100 ml back in Portugal, but unfortunately it's discontinued. And it was my first introduction to the brand, and since then I really appreciate the brand. It's just like I always had other priorities fragrance-wise, like while collecting and purchasing and exploring. So I never revisited properly and explored properly the brand, although there were a few that I really was interested in having. And so finally I have now 2 new fragrances from Puredistance. I do want to add 2 more. But yeah, this one is fantastic, really, and also underrated. I mean, the house itself is quite underrated, but also because it's very expensive and maybe the distribution is also not that great. But this one is Puredistance Gold, a 100 ml. So happy to have it. Puredistance Gold, I would say this is the most elegant amber fragrance that I ever came across. It's just so upper class. I will try to pull out the bottle from this sleeve. This is a velvety sleeve here. Here you have, so this is the bottle, Puredistance Gold. This is a parfum concentration, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, parfum, 36% perfume oil. And if I'm not mistaken, this Puredistance Gold was created by Antoine Lee. And Antoine Lee did create quite a few fragrances for this brand of Puredistance. And this one, but it's so complex at the same time. It's definitely amber, very golden style, really up class, very formal type of amber, very, I would say, very celebratory fragrance. It's almost like champagne type of amber. It's beautiful, really. It's a bit smoky, it's spicy, just fantastic. Now this has a lot of notes listed. You have tons of citruses, you have a bit of a rosemary in here, and of course you have labdanum, vanilla, but you also have tons of myrrh and styrax, a bit of incense. But overall, this for me, every time I smell it, is this effervescent, happy, celebratory type of scent, a very formal, upscale amber. Very elegant with character. I just adore this one. I mean, seriously, fantastic, fantastic creation by Puredistance, and I'm so happy to have it in my collection. The performance is okay, although this is an extrait, and it's written here. It has 36% of perfume oil. I mean, the longevity overall is not that immense. I mean, it's in around 7 hours, 8 hours. I mean, it's pretty much average, I would say. The projection as well, pretty average. So it's not a fragrance that will fill a room. But again, such an elegant fragrance is also not meant to be obnoxious. So, but the quality is just undeniable. It's Puredistance Gold. Highly advise for you to try this one if you have yet to. Now the next fragrance, also from Puredistance, and this one I still did not took it from the box, and I still didn't really touch the presentation because I really wanted to showcase the presentation, how beautiful it is. And this one is Puredistance Black. Now this is a 60 ml, not a 100 ml. The brand sells 60 ml and 100 ml. This is a beautiful, beautiful scent. The 60 ml runs for 295, if I'm not mistaken, and the 100 ml goes for 490. All of this retail, and it's really hard to find these these fragrances in online and the discounters. So yes, just bear that in mind. But this is Puredistance Black, also created by Antoine Lee back in 2013. And this was also one that I really wanted to have for a long time. So I will now finally unwrap this fragrance. And this is just a really nice presentation. I'm really a sucker for a nice presentation, to be honest. But again, not the most important for me. What really matters is the scent inside, and so this is how it comes. Take it from this box. The box goes there, and here we have it. Now it opens like that, like this, and like this. Look at this beauty. Very, very beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful presentation here. And so this is the whole history of the brand in this book. If I'm not mistaken, you have all the fragrances and their inspiration, which is a really nice touch. And this is the bottle. Very nice, really nice presentation. So this is Puredistance Black. 25% of perfume concentration, so it's also an extrait. Really nice presentation overall. So now you see that this is clearly smaller than Puredistance Gold that I showed you, but you don't need, at least I don't, certainly, 100 ml of everything. Oh man, this is like, I already smell this from the spray actually, and I will spray it right now. Stunning. Stunning scent. This is very spicy, very smoky, very incensey, dark, quite dark, resinous. Oh, it's so good, so elegant. It has like a herbaceous quality. It has an herbal quality in here. No, I didn't read the notes, so I'm just literally saying this from what I get, because I really don't remember the notes. But yeah, this is a very spicy, herbal, smoky, dark, resinous fragrance. It's a bit leathery as well. Oh, it's so good. It's so, so good. Just like I remember. Puredistance Black, it's stunning creation by Antoine Lee. And Antoine Lee is also the perfumeur behind the majority of Les Indemodables perfumes, including Immortelle Solaire, which we talked about. Wonderful scent, very elegant, very mysterious, but again, a lot of character, a lot of personality here. Dark, smoky, spicy, resinous, leathery perfume, bit woodsy as well. And so, so good. Puredistance Black. Now the next fragrance actually is a perfume that I talked about very recently, maybe in my latest video, but it's from the house of Strangelove, New York City, and this one is Melt My Heart. Melt My Heart, it's so good, and I really can't believe I have a fragrance from this brand, Strangelove, which is a brand that I was always very curious to try, but well, never had the opportunity to try the entire range of their collection. I just have actually a nice decant of Dead of Night, which is a very beautiful, natural smelling dark oud. But I was really curious to try Melt My Heart, also Falling to Stars, and the other three now that they have. But Melt My Heart, it's just so beautiful. This is how the presentation looks like. This is a 50 ml. This is very expensive. I mean, it's really crazy how expensive the fragrances from this brand are. So this is Melt My Heart, 50 ml. It comes in 15 ml, 50, and 100 ml. The 100 ml is it's almost €1,000. The 50 ml, it's 500, 600. I mean, it's something really obnoxious, to be honest. But I mean, the perfume itself, it's beautiful. Melt My Heart is beautiful. Falling to Stars, I have it on the way, actually. I will feature it in probably my latest, the last fragrance haul of the year. So we'll talk about that later. But Melt My Heart, it's so beautiful, so elegant. The iris in here, it's stunning. I love iris in here. It's one of the best iris that I smelled. Very buttery, creamy, natural smelling iris with chocolate. You have a bit of a dark chocolate in here. You have oud. I mean, this brand has, it's also quite focused around oud. And of course, some perfumes on the brand have more oud than others. I mean, Dead of Night is a pure oud scent, and the others have the oud part of their scent profile, but not as prominent. But yeah, but here I would say that the oud is the least prominent from the entire fragrance collection, if I'm not mistaken, of this brand. But Melt My Heart is so romantic. It's so elegant again, but iris really gives that elegance quality, and if it's done well, it's really a fantastic, elegant perfume with oud, with chocolate, with resins. It's just stunning. Really one of the best discoveries for me of the year. It's Melt My Heart by Strangelove. Now the next fragrance is from the house of Clive Christian. This year also I decided to explore Clive Christian fragrances properly. Now I'm not a huge fan of the brand, but I really discovered quite a few that I appreciate and worth having. This is one of them. So I already have Town & Country, which I showcased on my previous fragrance haul. And this one is their classic Clive Christian X Masculine. Now, Clive Christian is based in Britain, UK, and it's this regal, ultra niche style of brand, and not all of the fragrances are great, to be honest, but this one, Clive Christian X, is fantastic. Love the brand. Love this fragrance, Clive X Masculine. This was released in the early 2000s. And so this is how the presentation looks like. This is the box. It's basically a box inside a box. So that now you will take the main box, and here is the main one. This is Clive Christian X, and it opens like that. So here you have it. Clive Christian X, stunning scent. I mean, yeah, the presentation is quite nice. And while I do like the presentation, I mean, the sprayer is a bit funny looking. So I will just leave it. I don't know even where to leave, but I will leave here. So here is the bottle, 50 ml, just comes in 50 ml if I'm not mistaken. And so you see how this, it looks quite funny. Very straight, big spray, which is not expected coming from this style of cap, which is quite heavy actually. This is a more traditional style fragrance in terms of masculine, fougere, aromatic, spicy scent, but it has a bit of a smoky nuance as well. I love it. Absolutely love this one, and it's not dated. This is not dated at all. I was even surprised to know that this was released in the early 2000s, like 2002, 2001 actually. And I was expecting that this would be a bit dated, but it's not at all. This smells quite modern, very elegant. I would say more masculine. I mean, yes, the name kind of implies that, but all fragrances are unisex nonetheless. But there are some that lean a bit more masculine than, and others more feminine. But this one, I would say that whilst unisex, it leans a bit more to the masculine side because it has the traditional masculine profile in perfumery, you know. So it has this herbal quality, you have this aromatic fougere quality, which we traditionally view it as masculine. And so this has all of that, plus a bit of a smoky nuance in here. It has a dark facet, like it definitely has a mysterious dark quality in here that I adore. I adore. So yes, I mean, Clive Christian X masculine, it's so good. You have also the feminine counterpart, which actually I did not try, but the minute I tried this one, I needed to have it. Clive Christian X Masculine, fantastic scent. The next fragrance, also from Clive Christian, this one is El Vetiver, which was released this year, and I actually already talked about it earlier this year when this was released, and it was a fragrance that it was love at first sniff for me. Now, this is not a groundbreaking fragrance, it's not like very unique, but it's just so well done, and I just adore it on my skin. It was beautiful, like the name implies. This is all about tea and vetiver. Very simple, very straightforward. It changes, it does. You have the vetiver and the tea that really, I mean, it's a unique-ish scent profile. You don't see frequently like tea and vetiver, although it's already been done, and you have countless of vetiver perfumes out there, but I don't know, just how this fragrance comes across on my skin is just beautiful. At least for me, I really enjoyed it and I really wanted to have it, so it's here. And I already wore it actually a couple of times. El Vetiver. It's also a bit spicy, a bit peppery, and the tea comes across as a calming, zen type of tea. It's more of a, I would say more of a green tea, a mildly smoky green tea accord with this earthy, rooty vetiver. So this is how the bottle is. El Vetiver. Beautiful scent. Performance is fantastic, actually. It's overpriced. I mean, all of the Clive Christian fragrances are quite overpriced. This runs over 400 euros, if I'm not mistaken, or it's close to 400 euros, like 300 something. I mean, it's around those numbers for 50 ml. So it's really expensive, especially for what it is. But I just appreciate, maybe call it a guilty pleasure. But yes, I don't see why they included red, because I really don't see the color red in here, to be fair. This for me is more of a smoky, I would say dark green type of scent. So, or even light brown, to be honest. So I really don't see the the red color in here, so I don't know why they call it red. Maybe I need to search a bit better and a bit more. But nonetheless, great scent right here, perfect for spring and fall. Although this could be a signature scent type of perfume, I would say it also leans a bit more masculine than feminine, but again, all fragrances are unisex, and if you're a woman and if you love this type of perfumes, definitely check this one out. So yes, here you have it, Red Vetiver by Clive Christian. The next two fragrances that I have here from the house of Filippo Sorcinelli. I discovered this brand last year at Essence when I was in Milan, and back then, I mean, his counter was always packed, always. I mean, it was a challenge to really discover his perfumes and his collection overall, and back then he had launched like a whole line of perfumes, which I honestly, I don't remember the collection, but all of them have this hand like cap, that, or the lids, like it's a very big lid, like literally a hand like that. So I don't really remember how the line calls, but it's the line itself is quite interesting actually. The brand itself is very much all around incense. I mean, Filippo Sorcinelli, if I'm not mistaken, he creates some clothes to the Vatican, and he also scents the clothes with his perfumes, with incense, and so it's all around. This is the theme of this incensey, churchy-like profile, and all of his fragrances have this theme, although some with more incense, others a bit different. Of course, he has very different collections, which, to be honest, I really don't remember all of them, but these two were two that really stand out to me back then, and I finally added them to my collection this year. I definitely wanted to add also Reliquia, or Reliquia, which is also a very unique bottle style. But so the first one is, it's his very first fragrance released in 2013, which is LAVS. LAVS. This one right here. And this is a pure incense fragrance. Churchy, resinous, smoky incense. One of the best incense that I have now in my collection. It's really on par of Healy's Eau Sacré, which I already talked about countless times, and also Profumum Bromas Olibanum. LAVS is really one of a kind. If you are searching for a true, a bit dark, churchy frankincense, I mean, LAVS is out of this world, and this is how the presentation, the bottle comes across. It's a bit of a fingerprint magnet, to be honest, and it's hard to take off the fingerprints, but overall the scent is beautiful. This is an extrait de parfum. The performance is okay. It's also not a fragrance that it will last. I mean, it's not a beast mode type of fragrance, but it's also not intended to, I believe. So yeah, great scent right here. And the other one, Quando rapita in estasi. Now, this fragrance right here, I mean, I just love the touch here of this cloak, type of cloak here. No, I do have the presentation of these two fragrances. I have, but I put them aside, the boxes themselves, and there you have all the story behind the creation of these two fragrances. I know that Quando rapita in estasi is about, it's like an homage to Maria Callas, if I'm not mistaken. But this overall, this is a very vintage style scent. Think of YSL's Opium, think of Kenzo's Jungle L'Elephant. Think of those type of fragrances with incense. So it's not for everyone. This is heavy in the peach. It has for me a bit of an ylang-ylang, a very mild touch of ylang-ylang in here, which actually is a note that I don't appreciate, but it's not that intense and not that prominent. Very ambery. I would say it has like a mossiness in here as well, and a bit of a leathery quality as well. But then you have the frankincense that really comes alive and makes this fragrance a bit more, let's say, different, but it's in the vintage realm, in that old school style of perfume back from the 80s. 80s, early 90s, but more 80s, definitely 80s. Great perfume. Not for the faint of heart. The performance is immense, more than LAVS, I would say. Quando rapita, it's really not for the faint of heart. Really not. It has a chypre quality, I would say. This is a ambery chypre incensey fragrance. Stunning, stunning, stunning scent. If you are into this type of perfumes, I really advise you to try this one. I mean, again, this cape here, it's quite interesting. Maybe I would be happy just with the bottle itself instead of this cloak, cape, whatever you want to call it. But still, it's a unique touch. But yes, two fragrances from the very first two fragrances from Filippo Sorcinelli. Great brand, more an artistic side of things, not for everyone, but I highly advise you to try the brand, purchase their sample set. It's really worth trying. And last but certainly not least, saving the best for last, maybe, from the house of Les Abstraits. This one is Belle Âme. Now, I talked about Belle Âme very recently in my previous video, and I said back in that video that I had the bottle on the way and finally arrived. Belle Âme right here. Beautiful, beautiful scent. This is my favorite, currently my favorite iris fragrance. And this is the presentation. I already talked about the brand. I have this Cendre and I have the full presentation as well of this Cendre. But so this is Belle Âme, also very, I mean, it's the same, just the name and the scent profile changes, of course. But yes, so this is Belle Âme 100 ml. This comes in 100 ml from Les Abstraits. And it's beautiful. This is all about iris, cacao. So it has a bit of a, I would say like almost like a white chocolate quality in here. A bit nutty as well. It's also a bit nutty. And so here you have it, Belle Âme. Wore it yesterday. It arrived yesterday, so it's really the very recent acquisition here, Belle Âme. And this was not given. This was not given. I purchased this one myself, so this is a stunning scent. Again, creamy, cacao-y, a bit chocolatey, very buttery, dreamy iris. It's just out of this world. Highly, highly advise you to try this one. It's just the highest quality of iris that I've came across. So well done. Beautiful scent. I mean, seriously, Belle Âme, if you are into iris, this is a must-have. Belle Âme from Les Abstraits. Finishing this video, guys, let me know in the comments down below what are your latest fragrance acquisitions. Let me know also if you tried any of these that I just mentioned. If you find value in this video, hit the like button, subscribe, check out all the other fragrance content that I have available, and see you in the next one. Take care, guys. Ciao.